Hey guys, Stephen here back with another video. You'll have to excuse me today. I feel terrible. I am not a well man at all, but I still have to talk about Manchester City tomorrow against Nottingham Forest through my very bunged up, very tired, very lacking energy vibe that I've got going right now. But still, City tomorrow play Nottingham Forest, and things just got interested, didn't they? Of course, we're off the back of two victories against Villa and Arsenal, 2-3-1 victories actually, and that means everything right now. It really, really does. This, of course, is a Manchester City that feel changed, feel reinvigorated. There has been life breathing into Manchester City's meandering season corpse. You know, City were just sort of going through the motions a little bit. People weren't expecting much. Yeah, Guardiola seized an opportunity that the Premier League gave him to get things going again. He turned that fire against Manchester City and threw it back in everyone else's faces. And right now, things look very encouraging for Manchester City. This is a huge game of football because we need that momentum. We need to start winning games, man. We need to start winning games. We need to start winning games regularly because obviously when you've got a team as good as Manchester City but a team as good as Arsenal that you're up against, you have to really start to make a statement, and this could be that chance. I mean, we've struggled so far to actually win a few games in a row. Of course, only 3 games ago we lost against Spurs, and you know, it keeps getting frustrating how we win one, we lose. You win a couple, we lose. You know, we win a couple, we lose. So it goes back. You know, I mean, we look back for the results. You know, since the World Cup, basically 3-2 win, a win against Leeds, a win against Liverpool, then a draw. So back at nothing again. Then a win against Chelsea, a win against Chelsea again, but then a loss. And then another loss against United. Then a win against Spurs, and a win against Wolves. Then a win against Arsenal, but then a loss against Spurs. So we're winning 3 games in a row, but we're not really getting past that. You know, we need to find that 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 games in a row, that winning streak to put pressure right here on Arsenal, because that pressure is everything in football. So hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. It's good to see Mark's going for 10-0. I like it, mate. His half-year milestone as well. 6 months as a member. Appreciated. We've got XX Dakota, a big fan here as well. We've got P. Elder, Charlie, Tone, Pete Shepherd, Max Anderson, Nicholas Joyner, John as well, and good morning to everyone else joining in the chat. We've got a good morning for everyone, and good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you guys. But of course, if you're watching this and it's not a live video, doesn't matter, you can still carry on watching this. It will be mainly me talking to you guys and occasionally diving into the chat, do not worry. And if I'm diving into the chat, you'll be able to see it on screen anyway, so you won't be losing the context. Please do hit the subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But yeah, this game is absolutely huge because, once again, we have to keep up that pressure on Arsenal. There is no point, absolutely no point beating Villa, no point beating Arsenal, and then dropping points or losing to Forest. We can't do that. We have to show Arsenal that we mean business, that we mean that the form that we've just found is here to stay. Because if we do that, it'll get easier. I don't really think Arsenal, and I mean this with the greatest respect, I don't think they quite have the experience for this race yet. If City turn up, if City don't and they let them back into it, yes. But we have to be aggressive. We have to show that they can't make mistakes. And because if we show that they can't make mistakes, they will make mistakes. Because we saw that the other day. Their nerves will get to them. Now, of course, we are currently top of the table. They have a game in hand. And they do actually play tomorrow ahead of us. They play tomorrow at 12:30 against Aston Villa, actually. A Villa side, of course, who feel like they've got something to prove, given the fact that you know, they lost the last couple of games. They lost against Leicester 4-2, and against us last Sunday, of course, 3-1. So they'll feel they've got something to prove here, and it is as well. It is at Villa's ground, so you do hope that Villa will turn up. And Emery, of course, will feel like he has something to prove. So you do hope that they'll turn up and they'll be excellent. Because if so, if they drop some points before us and then we get a chance, imagine they lost, we could go fishing level even with games unplayed. We could be top of the table legitimately. Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, our goal difference is better than theirs. It is by +10. We got +10 goal difference. So that's all. That feels like a point as well. We just need them to drop more points. I'm sorry for the sniffling in advance. Mark with a super chat says, I felt 11 would be far-fetched, so I went conservative. Mark, you're many things, Mark. Conservative you are not. We won them all, my friend. We won them all. Appreciate you, though. Appreciate you big time. I mean, it could be tomorrow it could be a battering. Though we have to be respectful to Forest because they are a very good side. Now, of course, this is the bit where I go through the press conference quotes. Guardiola talked about momentum, as we were saying. Momentum is when you win 10 in a row. It didn't happen this season. 3 games ago, we lost at Tottenham. Momentum is tomorrow at 3. Be ready. Mentally, a team who's lost 1 in 6. That's Forest, the crowd, and the respected manager. He's right. It's everything tomorrow to have that ability to go again. More of the same. We need to find a way to keep that winning streak going, man. We do, because it's ultimately be pointless if we don't manage to do that. Guardiola talked a little bit about Grealish. Grealish, of course, is in probably his best form of his Manchester City career. He talked about actually something that we've all felt. I felt this personally. One of the times I criticised Jack, and I don't like to criticise Jack because I think like he means well, but you have to be. The very best get criticised. Is that sometimes he holds onto the ball too long. And I think Guardiola is slightly referring to this. He says, obviously, he's playing really good. I talked to him about his decision-making. The quality was always there, but the commitment to take the risk is important. Important moments in important moments he's making the difference. He has to continue. So that's it. Sometimes you've got to think less and just be not afraid to make the big pass, and go for it. Because the more you think about it, the more likely you are to be stopped. And the amount of times you see Grealish's pass get blocked or his shot get blocked because it's obvious that he's thinking about it. He telegraphs it too much. Do things quicker, more assertively, and take bolder decisions in the final third, and things will pay off. And we're seeing the signs of that already for Jack Grealish. We really are. Elsewhere as well, he talked about John Stones. He's getting better. Fingers crossed we'll get him back soon. Not available tomorrow, but he's getting better. He talked more about De Bruyne. He said, it's really good. It's like Jack, like everyone. I'm so pleased for everything. I had the feeling they can do more, give more, and they can do it. A fantastic goal, but I know the demands we have in front of us. We need the players to have the feeling they can do better. He's right. As good as De Bruyne was, and he had Arsenal right there, man, in the palm of his hand. Kevin De Bruyne can be even better, but, they really can. Like, they really could. They could be much better because they've been decent, they're very good, but they've not been excellent, and I think that's fair. He talked about the Premier League title race, said still 15 games left, a lot of games, but we want to arrive at the top 8 or 10 near the top of the league to make a last effort. We were in the position that I would have dreamed at the start of the season. I could not expect to be many points ahead after 2 titles. It's nearly impossible. So that's interesting. Guardiola's saying there that he didn't expect to be miles clear this year because of familiarity, because of, it's hard to do that. But he wanted to be around the top, and he's happy. I think he's sort of telling the truth. Obviously, he would have loved to have been further ahead. But I think he's largely telling the truth here that he expects us to be, hoped for us to be there, right up there alongside. And then once, as he said, once you get to the that last quarter of the season, that last home stretch, the last 10, 9, 8 games, that is when shit gets really real and you can really focus on every single fucking game. And I'm thinking right now we are where we need to be, and we need to make sure we're there towards the end, because that's when the pressure will go for Arsenal, and we'll get him, I reckon. Guardiola talked about the players. He said that they talk to each other in the canteen and they say they need to be better. It's good because in the end they play. They're the artists who work on the pitch. I can't be involved in that. So basically he's implying here that the players have been talking about their form not being good enough, which is good. He's implying that, they need to do more, and they're aware of that. Which I like that. I like that personally. I like it. I like the fact that he's admitted that they're aware of their lack of quality currently, and like how they need to be better. Now we look at the table, and here where we are right now, we're of course top with a plus 10 goal difference on Arsenal. They do have a game in hand, but ultimately that's what matters there. You see Arsenal's form, the red and the green, the red and the grey. That is what matters. 2 losses and a draw in the last 3 games, and we need to make sure that we keep applying that pressure, because they will slip up again, man. They will slip up again, I guarantee you. Now, we look down the table at Forest. Forest went crazy. Of course, they were one of the talks of the season, They went absolutely wild and signed a whole bunch of players. More than a squad full of players. They are one of the stories of the season. I was with a Forest fan the other day on the overlap, and he said it needed to be done. I don't think anyone needs to sign 25 players, whatever it is. That's just silly. You shouldn't sign more players than your squad can actually register. It's nonsense. They just went a bit crazy, and it might work for them. But I don't think they needed to sign that many players. They need to sign a lot of players, but no one needs to sign a whole new team, That was mad. Either way, 29 was it? That's fucking stupid. I mean, that's just stupid. It is stupid. And that's like, it's not worked because they've signed 29 players. They aren't 6 points clear of relegation because they signed 29 players. It's probably because they signed 10 good ones. 10, 10 are working. So it's a bit wild to suggest that that was ever a good idea. It was a stupid idea, and it still is a stupid idea. They signed some good ones, but the rest obviously aren't all key players. But they are currently sitting 14th. And their form is decent, as you can see there. A lot of green on their form. 14th, 6 points clear, ahead of Wolves, West Ham, Leeds. Everton is impressive. You look at their matches; they have just come off the back of a defeat against Fulham. And to be honest, it wasn't a terrible performance from them. But before that, of course, their results have been pretty good. They beat Leeds 1-0. They did lose to United twice in the EFL Cup. That's fair enough. They did draw against Bonn before that. They beat Leicester before that. In the league, they drew against Chelsea. They beat Southampton. Lost United there beforehand. But in general, their form has been pretty decent. When they beat Leicester, this is how they lined up with their billions of signings. They've signed Keylor Navas as well, haven't they, by the way? And Renan Lodi as well from Atletico Madrid, which is absolutely insane signings. Sergio Aurier, they got Worrell, McKenna, Scarpa, Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White, Yates, Mangala. Not the Mangala, unfortunately. But it feels like the team constantly changes an awful lot. It's sadly played against Fulham. It's pretty similar, actually. Chris Wood, McKenna. You've got Willy Boley as well, Keylor Navas. It's crazy, man. Like, Henderson's a decent player. But we'll have to see how they goes. I mean, when you look at the team that they've got compared to the team that they played last time, like it is a totally different team. I'll bring up their games, like their team compared to when we played them last time. Of course, we beat them 6-0, by the way. Where is it? So 6-0 at home. This was their lineup that day. It's different. Kouyaté was playing with Nico Williams, O'Brien, Yates. It's not fully different, but this is how we played that day. Walker, Stones, Diaz, Cancelo, Gundogan, Rodri, Silva, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland. City's team will be different than it was that day, but we were miles better than them, and I think we will be again. Fulham, they are a good team. They're a good team. Henderson got a long-term injury. Okay, I didn't actually know that. I apologise. I didn't genuinely know that. So fair fucking play. Keylor Navas is a ridiculous signing in that instance. I thought they were just going crazy because it's a fair thing to do. I stand corrected. So their home form is good. They're a good side, and understandably because they're happy to be back there. In terms of the team, Ederson is going to go in goal. I think Bernardo plays again, here. I think he does. It's sort of like this, isn't it? I think Laporte comes back in. Diaz and Walker. I think it's this. I think City go to keep the ball. And I think Bernardo is like the quasi right-back thing. It could be Ake, but I think it will be this still. I think it'll be this. I think it'll go back to what he was saying. When he was talking about the form not being good enough. I think he was largely talking about saying the tactics was wrong the other day. I think it was more about City playing direct. You said it was horrible, but I don't think it was horrible, the tactic. I think it was more we were playing aggressive and playing direct. You might be right, Charlie, but I think it was more the instructions as opposed to the actual lineup. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was that. I still think he'll do this, and I think it'll be Gundogan. That'll be Haaland, of course, up top. He's definitely playing. Oops, what's going on here? Here we go. Foden could come back in, It could do. This could be KDB and this could be Mahrez. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Foden come back in. It could also be that we just go back to, it could be that we see Ake here, a bit of a change. It could be Rodri. And this could be Bernardo with Mahrez and Grealish getting a bit of a rest. It could be something like this. It could be that Walker gets a rest with Rico Lewis coming in. Rico Lewis could play here. There's loads of different ways it could be. With Rico obviously doing more of that there. It'd be more like this, I reckon, in that instance. This, though, I wouldn't be surprised if this instance it would be Diaz and Akanji, somewhere like that, if Rico Lewis is playing. I reckon it could be like that if Rico Lewis is playing. So there's many different ways it could be. It could be that Gundo or KDB gets a rest or Bernardo playing. It's going to be something like this. In terms of my actual prediction, so I'm very tired, so I'm feeling like shit, as you can probably hear. So I'm gonna we'll wrap this video up. I'm gonna say that City are gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be another 3-1. You know, a third 3-1 in a row, and I think it's gonna be an important game for City, and I think they actually will get the victory. I'm expecting it to be tough, but I'm expecting City to show up and be good again. I really am, because it's an important game in the title race. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the match preview. I feel like fucking shit. I'm going to go to sleep now, actually. Because tomorrow, I'll try and do a watch along, but if my voice is as bad as it is today, I might not be able to do a watch along because I feel terrible and I can't talk for hours at end. I lose my voice. It might be a match reaction, maybe, but we'll see. Fingers crossed, I can get some sleep. Look at stay in my face, man. Come on, City. Up the Blues. Catch you all soon. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Love you all loads. Catch you in a bit. Bye-bye. Cheers, Jack. It's true, mate. I do sound terrible. Bye-bye.